6.
Part of me still sees Morgan as the kid that she was when I first started representing her.
First at 6, the lawyer for one of the Slender Man stabbing suspects says he will keep representing her once she is returned to Wisconsin. Morgan Geyser was in a courtroom in Cook County, Illinois today. She agreed to be extradited back to Wisconsin.
She left her group home in Madison Saturday night after cutting off her GPS monitor. The Waukesha County District Attorney's Office, which was against her conditional release, says it wants to see Geyser returned to a mental health facility. It will be up to the state to decide if her conditional release will be revoked.
Questions remain about why Morgan Geyser walked away from that group home and whether she should have been allowed there in the first place.
Our Charles Benson asked Geyser's attorney Tony Cotton about advocating for her release and his decade-long efforts to help her.
Tony Cotton has known Morgan Geyser since she was about 12 years old, a shocking crime case that attracted national and international attention because of the reference to Slender Man. He learned from a friend over the weekend that the 23-year-old went missing.
What were your concerns at that moment, knowing that she was now somewhere out there?
So I wasn't concerned that she would be violent. My fear was sort of twofold. One, who is she with? What negative influence might have encouraged her to do this?
The other, he says, the consequences or setback for what happened over the weekend. Cotton will have to address that going forward, but he tells me he has no regrets with the decision to advocate for Geyser's release in September to a community group home after years at a state-run mental health institution.
When you were advocating for help, did you think help could really change her and help her?
Yeah, and I think, yes, and I think it did. I think that Morgan, if you look at the maturity that she exhibits at 18, 19, 20, her understanding of mental health, her cooperativeness with treatment, her insight into her conditions, her ability to be her own advocate with the treatment providers. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10.
The Waukesha County prosecutors and the Department of Health Services raised serious concerns Geyser was not ready to be released, despite unanimous support from doctors monitoring her.
I think the doctors were all right at that time and continue to be right now.
So if someone says, see, I told you so.
Told me so what? That people who have mental health struggles are going to have ups and downs. They're going to have good days and they're going to have bad days. They're also going to make bad decisions.
Cotton did have one big concern, and it wasn't really with Morgan, but with people fascinated by her case.
The risk factor I saw was that she could get taken advantage of by an older man. Either because she wanted the companionship or because they want to form a relationship with her or whatever.
His long legal journey with Geyser, at times emotional over the years, will continue as her attorney.
I've known her forever.
How would you describe that relationship?
You know, it's still an attorney-client relationship, and it's, I would say, never changed from that. You could describe it almost as I see her as the same way I see my children, in a way, that she's somebody that I care about on a personal level. I want the best for her. I've watched her grow up before my eyes.
At the time of our interview, Cotton had yet to talk with Geyser about the last 48 hours, but plans to do that as soon as she is back in custody in Waukesha County. Back to you.